Hi, guys, and welcome back to my new YouTube channel, my new podcast, Housewives 411. Before we get started, guys, make sure that you hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. This is my new channel. I had to start over with no followers, and I had almost 10,000 on my other channel. So I encourage you guys to make sure that you hit the like button. If you guys haven't already, go check out my new podcast on Spotify. It is called Housewives 411. And we're going to get into it about Margaret Josephs and these allegations about her taking this young content creator's logo and brand information. There was a whole video that was put out by Melissa's Old Nose on Twitter. It was actually like a 6-minute video, and she gave us all of the receipts. Okay, this content creator, she's a businesswoman. She has 10 years in the game, but she basically had a like hemp rolling business. So during COVID, hi Yo, I'm so glad you guys made it. Make sure you guys comment and say hi and tell me what you guys are doing or where you're from. Say something. I like to know who's in the room. So this content creator, she's been in the game for like 10 years. She has a lot of logos and stuff, but during COVID, she started like rolling hemp. I don't know if she quit smoking or something, but she got into it and she was like, this might help other people. And so she started to like market it herself. And then either like she didn't really keep up with it, or she had a lot going on and she kind of wasn't posting a lot because she also has an Instagram page. And lo and behold, Margaret comes out with her soiree water, and it's literally the same logo, just a different color. Like she might have made the font a little tiny bit bigger, but the soiree is exactly the same. The font is exactly the same. And if you go and look at their Instagram accounts, Margaret went as far as to even copy this young woman's aesthetic on her Instagram account. Yes, the aesthetic, the colors. This girl is like a creative mind. So her Instagram is not something like that you're just, like you or I would post of our family or whatever. Like she posts like old Vanity Fair, old Hollywood stuff that is, creative and not something that you see all of the time. And then when you go over to Margaret's soiree Instagram, it matches. So, that I think is pretty powerful. If you add in and factor in the fact that Margaret also has been sued for this before. If you guys don't remember, she was sued for allegedly taking the whale logo. If you remember, she actually talks about it, I think a couple of seasons ago, and she talks about how hard her financial situation was hit over having to go to court over the logo that she took from this company. It was allegedly like a whale. Do you guys remember? I don't know if it was her Macbeth collection or if it was a different one, but it was definitely the whale logo. And I think she had to pay out like 300 and some $1,000 over that. You cannot go and take people's logos, guys. You cannot do that. And it's very, again, so now we have her taking this whale logo. This went to court. So anyone that wants to dispute it, go look at the court records and see what the judge said. Okay? Like go do a little bit of your own research. If you don't believe what I'm telling you, I would encourage you to go do your own research. Okay? There was a lawsuit over a whale logo that she allegedly took, and she had to go to court for quite some time. And here is another thing. It's not cheap to go to court. Every time your attorney files something for you, every time your attorney files a motion, and anytime you have to show up for it, you're paying them. So this company felt wronged enough to invest the money in taking her to court over their logo. Now, unfortunately, what happens in these cases is, for example, this young lady, she's a young content creator. And yes, she has 10 years in the business and that's experience, but Margaret had startup money. Margaret is not a made woman. Margaret was not a made woman when she met Jan. Okay, when she met Jan, she was broke as a joke. When she got with Jan, Jan had money. Jan gave Margaret money. That was the startup money that Margaret used. That's been confirmed by many sources, including Margaret's other ex-friends, whom she took them for like $160 some thousand. And they were her friends and they thought they were investing in something. But that's a whole nother lawsuit that you can look into as well if you don't believe what I'm telling you. So anyways, Melissa's old nose, she said, I put it in my podcast. I want you guys to go listen to my podcast, Housewives 411. She gives out all the tea on how this transpired, how this girl got a hold of her, yada, yada, yada. But I just want to point out to you that in the last situation when she stole from this company, the whale logo, they were able to take her to court, right? And so this time she stole from someone who is more of a, a smaller owned entrepreneur who doesn't maybe have the resources and the money to take somebody to court. And so it's very sickening and it's very unethical to go around and take people who's smaller than you, their ideas, their logos, these things. Unfortunately, I don't think that we see it happen so much in the business world with like logos and aesthetics like we're seeing with Margaret in this situation. But, I do know content creators that come up with a good, clever idea, and then they go on a big podcast. I'm not going to mention any names, but like a bigger podcast, and they take their idea. Like it happens in the podcast world all the time because it's an idea. So it's like not, firm or what, what I'm saying. It's not tangible. And I have somebody looking up soiree right now and she's texting me live. She just said she looked it up. I was having her look at the trademark paperwork because I didn't get there yet. But I wanted to tell you guys that unfortunately there's 47 trademark patents for it previously. Sorry guys. Oh, so the soiree, there's that. The aesthetic, there's that. Then there's Katy Perry's water. So Katy Perry has a water and it replicates a lot of what Margaret has. And she even sort of what is the word I'm looking for? She took like the handle, right? So Katy Perry's water is like whatever the name of it is. And she did the same thing with her website, with her handle, right? And a lot of it looks the same. But the difference is when you have a small business owner that doesn't have the funds to prosecute somebody like Margaret's on a national platform. Margaret is, contrary to what we believe, even though she doesn't have any money, just because she doesn't manage her money doesn't mean she doesn't get a good paycheck. She's getting a paycheck from Bravo for hundreds of thousands of dollars. She's getting a paycheck every time she does BravoCon. She's getting a paycheck from the eyeglass company. She's getting a paycheck from Walmart. The woman's getting paychecks. And this content creator, small business owner, she's not going to have the funds to, necessarily take Margaret to court. Maybe she does specifically. This content creator, hopefully she can, find some sort of resolution because she's been out here, working hard, busting her butt, going to trade shows, and doing the damn thing. And then Margaret comes along and takes her soiree name and basically just put it on her water and change the color. So the girl has her hemp rolls made out of, named soiree, even with the little asterisk. And then Margaret came along and allegedly took the exact logo, took the exact branding and replicated it and put it as her water. Now, allegedly, we're also going to be getting sold the water this season. So I don't know how that's going to go over if we all know that she allegedly, clipped it from this girl, Melissa's old nose, like she made a good point too, obviously, that, they're not the only people in the world that have the name soiree or that have patented or business named after it. And I think that that's where people don't get hung up on that, because I feel like, in my opinion, it's more about the fact that you literally took it from this girl's, Instagram. You replicated the logo, you replicated the Instagram page, and you put it on your water. And now you're going to try to sell it on a national platform. What the fuck is wrong with that lady? Like, something is not right. And again, maybe that sounds okay, but like, here's the thing. She's done it before. She took somebody else's logo. And we know she did because she was in court over it. I swear if she wasn't in court over it, people would argue it. They would say that didn't happen or she didn't do it. Thank God we have court records, I swear. Seriously. These people out here, it's crazy. But yeah, so you guys need to go listen to my podcast, Housewives 411. Check it out because all of the details from Melissa's old nose are in there. And she tells us everything, how it transpired, how the girl reached out to her, what the girl told her. And also the girl is on Instagram. You guys can follow her. I'm sorry, she's on TikTok. You guys can follow her if you want. And her handle is Mike, Mike, and then it's YAL Fresco. And it's also on my Instagram. I tagged her a bunch. I tagged her on my TikTok. Melissa's old nose is tagging her because the only thing that we can really do to help her, guys, is support her by sharing her story and getting it out there as much as we can. So even if you don't want to share it, just like it, comment it. It'll help with the algorithm. So, Jet's mama's made it all the way from Manchester. Marge should know better by her age. She absolutely should know better. And I think that her knowing better was this time she took it from a small content creator. This time she took it from somebody who might not be able to take her to court for $300,000. That's Margaret's way of working smarter. You know, I mean, look at the things that they get away with. Look at Melissa selling fake Chanel's allegedly in her store, guys. How do you get away with that and it not make huge, huge, huge headlines? Like, and she wasn't even allegedly refunding people back their money. Like, people were having to go leave reviews and stuff because she was like blocking them because she didn't want to give them their money back. And then also in the mix of this, guys, we have Gia posing for People magazine. Did you guys see that? Gia posed for People magazine. And also, did you guys know that John Food is on Kim D's podcast? I was waiting to tell you guys that. I was waiting to tell you guys that. Oh, yeah. John Food is on Kim D's podcast. I don't know if it's her Patreon. I don't know if she put it behind a paywall or not. He is about my least favorite person in the entire world. And it's so funny because Lisa NYC Gal Out, I tell you guys, I always go on her podcast every Thursday to review the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Love her so much. Go check her out. NYC Gal Out, Lisa. She was reading some emails that some viewers had sent in, you know, with questions. And one of them was like, basically, like, Lindsay's all about second chances, but not for John Fuda. And my thing is, I'm all about second chances, but John Fuda, number one, isn't asking for a second chance. He claims that he changed his last name for whatever bullshit reason it was, not the truth. And look at how he treated his baby mom. So everyone else gets a second chance except for Brittany. John Fuda gets a second chance. I get a second chance, but she doesn't. And you don't have to own up to what you do. Where I'm from, if you want a second chance, you got to own up to what you did. That even has me looking at you like I got to give you a second chance. Hello? But he's on there. What do you guys think? Penny said the Gorgas fight so hard because the show is their only stream of income. I completely agree, Mia. I've done a lot of deep diving. You guys know that, especially when I got the cease and desist from Envy. So it is a big source of their income. And that's why Joe doesn't want you guys to know that they have their own contract. That's why I think that he kind of laid off so much on his businesses. Even though, you know, of course, he claims he's working hard and he's up at 5 a.m., which maybe he is. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it was a more stable income than him flipping houses, right? Like, that's been Joe's career this whole time. And though flipping houses was very lucrative, and maybe still is, I don't know if it's through a pandemic, you know, you have to look over like the last 10 years. This is Melissa's business. Their booth crushed it. And they are saying Louis was screaming at Melissa and they didn't invite Melissa out, which none of it is true. this is Melissa's business, and their booth crushed it. Oh, Melissa, I'm sorry, Melissa Feaster is who Jamie is talking about. Melissa Feaster. Oh yes, the Namaste Bitches did put out a bonus episode, kind of breaking down some rumors that were being spread and addressing Tamara as well. So I did see that. Yeah, Melissa Feaster. Put some respect on that woman's name. If you don't know who she is, do a little bit of research. But her husband's like a big time agent. Big time agent. Was like Kobe Bryant's agent. She lives in Manhattan Beach on the freaking ocean. Homegirl is living in millions of dollars of home. Like, they are just very humble people, and people mistaken that because her husband is very humble. I met him at the Namaste Bitches podcast event. And I think that people mistaken his humility, like he's not, very, very rich, very rich. And she said on the podcast, like, she probably has more money than a lot of the people at Bravo. And she's probably very much right, because we know how the people at Bravo live and spend their money and live paycheck to paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. So, so put some respect on Melissa Feaster's name. She probably shouldn't have just went. That's too much Bravo for her. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of Bravo for like 3 or 4 days if you're not a housewife, especially, you know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of pressure and a lot to deal with, I would think, for 4 days for her, Yeah, I actually believe they expect anything when it comes to her and Messi and Gorga, like what they did with the pizza ovens. I do too. Brittany probably cussed out John so hard that she bruised his ego. Emotional damage. Oh, I'm sure. Jamie says allegedly Margaret's involved too. Of course Margaret's involved. Margaret's involved in anything that is going to be negative for Teresa. Hello. Margaret probably made friends with Tamara. Like, they're probably best friends right now, plotting on Teresa as we speak. Melissa Feaster said what she had to say, though. Yeah, I'm proud of Melissa Feaster. I feel bad if Bravo people weren't super nice to her. I'm not surprised, but just the way that it is. So, all right, y'all. Well, it's Friday, and I got to go to work, and I just wanted to hop on and say hi and tell you guys that little bit of tea about Margaret and tell you guys to go check out the podcast, because I did an episode with Melissa's Old Nose, and my audio is terrible. We did not want to record it. I don't talk very much. I have a little bit of an echo, so it kind of starts, we're doing the best. We wanted to get the story out to you guys yesterday and get it uploaded, so I didn't have time to edit it like I would have, so I couldn't take the echo out of it, and I'm sorry, but I don't talk very much. Melissa's Old Nose does 90% of the talking, and again, she's like breaking down everything about Margaret and this content creator. So if you guys are on TikTok, make sure that you go check out this content creator, because she explains it all. She has the videos posted, and her screen name again is MikeYal Fresco, and I tagged her on a bunch of videos on TikTok. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to hit the follow button, turn your notifications on, and have a great weekend.